I'm Rana Morgan with iHealthTube, and I'm talking today with Dr. Gloria Gilbere. She wrote this book, I Was Poisoned by My Own Body. She has fibromyalgia, as do I, and one of the things we want to address is colon cleansing and how important that is. Isn't that, Doctor?
Absolutely, and I am recovered from fibromyalgia.
Good for you.
Unless I eat nightshades, as we've discussed in previous programs. But the colon health is something that especially Americans don't want to talk about.
That's true.
They really don't. I work with a lot of physicians in the European community and in the Asian community. And medical doctors are actually writing prescriptions and doing colon therapy, training and certifying doctors and technicians to be able to do colon therapy within the hospital setting and within their practices because they understand the value of it. And here's the analogy of that, if I may give that.
Please.
If you're eating one meal a day, people say, well, I don't need colon therapy. Number one, it's a fallacy that you don't need it, because if you're eating 3 meals a day and you're eliminating once, where's the rest of it going?
Ah.
That's what we call colonic plaque.
Colonic plaque.
Colonic plaque, much like the analogy we used earlier about the hygienist cleaning our teeth to get the plaque out versus us just brushing our teeth.
Okay.
So it's the same analogy. And what happens is that people are very frightened by the term. And American medical doctors do not understand it. It's not something that the AMA is out there saying, go get colon therapy. And so in other cultures that have done it for many, many years, they realize the value of it, and we are starting to in the United States. Now they have to be certified and trained, and FDA certifies and approves all of the equipment used. So we don't have to worry about cross-contamination. Everything is disposable. Okay? Water is triple and quadruple filtered. So, and that's under the standards that the FDA has set. So what happens is that people will use the analogy of doing an enema at home, for instance. Okay? An enema is a very small speculum, the part that goes into the body, where a colon therapy speculum is large. It's about the size of probably a quarter in diameter. Okay?
All right.
Now, the enema will go up 6 to 8 inches. The colon therapy, eventually when you get the sludge out, when you kind of open up that plumbing, will go the whole length of the 5-foot colon.
Wow.
So you're able to clean out the entire intestinal tract, and that's what saved my life.
That's what saved your life.
That's what saved my life. So in the book, I Was Poisoned by My Body, that I wrote after my incident 10 years ago, and it's just been updated, every time that my throat would go into total anaphylactic reaction, I couldn't breathe, I'd be, they'd run me to the colon therapist.
And that would take care of it?
Yes, 2 and 3 times a week for months, because until that toxic load was reduced in my body significantly where we could heal the leaky gut in the intestines, my body was poisoning itself. And the way that the body protects us is something happens. Somebody will end up with a tremendous headache or a rash or an accelerated case of fibromyalgia, for instance. My manifestation was the throat closing. And I literally couldn't swallow. I couldn't breathe and I couldn't swallow.
And once you cleansed your colon?
Oh, if they put me on the table, they'd run me to the colon therapist. The girls in my clinic would. And we had an understanding. She had 2 rooms that if they called and said, Dr. G's on her way, she would stop what she was doing and put me on the machine, and the anaphylactic reaction was gone.
Well, I'm so glad you discovered that.
And so I work with a lot of doctors now through the International Association of Colon Therapists to be able to spread the word, to educate, and to have more and more doctors recognize it, endorse it, and be able to help so many people by reducing their toxic load.
Well, thank you, Doctor, for being with us and sharing that with us. It was very important information.
Yes, it was. Thank you so much for asking me.